Will they? Won't they? Are they live? Have they got a show? What are they doing? They're keeping us waiting. But we're fucking here, though.
Wow, sweary words in the first
Sweary words in the first seconds. How are we doing? It's been a couple of weeks, isn't it?
It has been a couple of weeks. I was just saying that backstage. It feels like it's been a lot longer than 2 weeks, but I guess lots has happened in 2 weeks. So it's nice to be back.
It is good to be back. Now, obviously, we was meant to be on last week. Work and life and adulthood got in the way. And then there was meant to be 3 of us this week. But unfortunately, Tom really ain't well.
No.
He's currently in A&E. And he's hopefully he should be better. Hopefully, fingers crossed, our sexy fireman will be returning to your screens for your viewing pleasure next week. But yeah, just send him your well wishes. He'll be all right. He's built like a big shit house, so he should be all right.
He's been thought bubbled, I think.
He has been thought bubbled.
The diagnosis.
Yes. So we are here. We are going to be resuming normal viewing next week, but this week is the Thought Bubble 2022 review special. So it was a long time coming. We'd built up for it since bloody February this year. We'd probably been building up to it from bloody November last year. To be fair, and it was a fantastic show. Let's be honest, it was an absolutely amazing show. But before we get into it, I just want to give a massive shout out to our loyal viewers. We've got ABZ Comics sending the smiley face, saying he's looking forward to the Thought Bubble stories. Oh, there's plenty. There's plenty, mate. There's plenty. We've got Darren, aka the Poptimist. Evening, sir. We've got another one of the Thought Bubble contingency. It is Tim. Welcome, sir. And then we've got Chris Bell, who's been trolling us on social media these last couple of days. Will they? Won't they? Who knows? Will we be here? Who knows? Who knows? And then more trolling. Be Thought Bubble 2023 by the time they review this one. It's worth the wait, though. Trust me. Trust me, it really is. And then we have, it's an old new face. It's the one and only Ben, aka the Attention Seeking Geek. Oi, what's all this then? Welcome, sir. Welcome very much, mate. Thank you for joining. Got the one and only Ed Vic. We've got everyone's favourite YouTube Heisenberg. It's the one and only Leon Russell. Good evening, killers. And Tim has said, I think my Chinese would arrive quicker than this show. Okay, there we go. And then we've got Ben sending his love to Tom. And then we've got Chris sending his love to Tom as well. So yes, we're all here. We're going to have some fun tonight. It's not the normal show. We're going to talk about Thought Bubble 2022. We're going to talk about our experiences. We're going to do some pickups. We're going to talk about how enjoyable it was, what antics were had, and what absolutely disgusting shots Peter ball as usual. But first things first, Andy, before we get into our Thought Bubble pickups and stuff like that, we haven't had a show for a couple of weeks. I'm assuming you've got a fair few pickups that we would normally do for the killer pickups.
I have a bit of a stack, but yeah, of course I do. Let me see, where do I start first? So I picked up this book here, the 3-minute sketchbook.
Oh, nice.
And this was part of the Hero Initiative. So this was like a charity, like a non-profit charity set up to help out creators. And I picked this up like a couple of quid. It wasn't expensive at all, but it's some really cool sketch work from the likes of George Perez, rest in peace. I've got Mike Mignola, Bernie Reichstein. But what I thought cool about this is that at the back there's blank pages. And the whole point of it is that you take it to shows and just ask your favourite creator to do a sketch in it, but they're only allowed to take a maximum of 3 minutes to do the sketch. So I might be taking that to the next con that I go to.
Do you know what? That's pretty cool. You know Alan from Coffee and Heroes? So obviously we see him there as well. And he just took one comic. Or was it one comic or was it a backing board?
No, I think it was a comic, yeah. It was a comic,
and he was just getting every single artist and creator that you see just to sign it. And I thought that was quite, instead of just taking books and piles of stuff to sign, he literally took this one. And it looked pretty amazing, to be fair. It was just this one comic and it just had various signatures and everything and like remarks and stuff. And it's pretty good. Well, so that would be a great idea.
Absolutely. And speaking, when we get to our stuff that we got from Thought Bubble, I've got a pretty special sketch or sketches to show.
Yes.
But I picked up another copy of Detective Comics 871. This is the second print, which is a much harder.
How many of them do you have now?
Four.
Four. And the first print?
more than 4. Okay. Now, speaking of the community, and I got this. I got an AOK. I got an
Oh,
AOK.
nice.
Well, and this came at a really good time. It's been a challenging couple of weeks since Thought Bubble, and or sort of challenging week since Thought Bubble, and this came in the post, and this is a Jenny Frisson.
Of
Now, I'm
course
not
it is.
sure if he wanted to me out the goodness of his heart, or if he just wanted to say Jenny Frisson. But I'm really happy to get this, and thank you so much, Chris, for sending that to me. I really appreciate it, buddy. At Thought Bubble, I tried to pick up "It's Lonely at the Centre of the Earth" by Zoe Thorogood, but
I
it sold
can't believe that.
6 minutes. So literally 2 minutes after it had sold out, I went on to a major retailer that we all know and love, and I picked it up, and it was ready and waiting for me when I arrived back home. This is the best thing that I've read this year. I can't recommend this enough. I would absolutely urge everybody to go to Amazon or LCS or wherever they pick up their books and buy this. Sit down with a cup of coffee and read it. It is absolutely superb.
Mine's arriving tomorrow. I
It is
can't wait.
brilliant.
And do you know what?
Apparently-
The best thing about that, I'm sorry to interrupt you, the best thing about
No,
that,
go ahead.
as we approach Zoe at her Thought Bubble table, I think we'd obviously like posted it and was saying we was looking forward to reading it. As we approached the table, she was like, "I'm so sorry, I don't have any left for you." I was gutted. 6
Yeah.
minutes they sold out in 6 minutes.
6 minutes, and I can understand why it sold out. So apparently this is sold out at distribution level as well, so it's going to a second printing, I believe.
Wow.
So if you want to make sure that you pick up your first printing,
Mhm.
please do so. Like it's a thick boy as well. You know, there's plenty of content in it.
Don't
but
say that too
listen,
loud on a Thursday night, mate.
Hey, do you know what happens in Thought Bubble stays in Thought Bubble. Yeah, no, I love this. As I say, guys, that this is my favorite book of this year and will be my nomination for. If in fact, do me a favor, hold on. Can I go into our bits here? Let me see. Brand.
Of course you can.
There we go. I'm giving it that. I'm giving it the gold seal of approval. This is an absolute killer, guys.
Wow.
If I can give it 2, I would give it 2.
Rock City Adventures has said, welcome. I think this is the first time you've joined the show, but welcome. Thank you for viewing. I heard good things with the exception of them spelling centre wrong. I think they spelled it the American way, haven't they?
Center, yeah. But yeah, I can look past that. That's fine. Don't worry about that. What's inside it's what matters to me, and some of it really resonated as well. So yeah, make sure you pick that up.
And I think that was the book that like Zoe loves to do some lives on Instagram, and she f and blinds more than we do on this show, which is always a pleasure to see. But when she does do lives, they're so engaging, and I know you're only watching her do her line sketches and her panels and stuff like that, but she only goes for about 30 minutes, like just doing the sketches and stuff like that. But you can see the intricity of how much work goes into what she does, and I think it's phenomenal what she does, because the way that she does her artwork, it looks unfinished. Now, for someone like me, it would have to be perfect. I wouldn't be able to work like that. But when you look at her stuff in a trade paperback or a comic book, it looks how it's meant to look. Do you know what I mean? The unfinished look, it looks amazing. And it's just, for someone like me, it would drive me crazy.
I wanted to get, obviously, a book signed at Thought Bubble, but I also wanted her to do like a little doodle on it for me. Because she creates these little characters and stuff like that, which things like this here. And I just wanted her to do one for me on the book, but yeah, no, it was well worth the wait, and it's absolutely fantastic. And go check out her back catalogue as well. She's got other books that I would highly recommend. The Impending Blindness of Billy. Yeah, that's the one.
Billy Scott is Billy Scott, yeah.
So yeah, there's that. I've been going a bit crazy on Vought. You know, once you pick up one book from Vought, you tend to pick up a million books.
Of course, yeah.
And I've got a couple of shout outs. So I picked up a stack of books from Redsters.
Wow.
This was one delivery that I got when I come back from Thought Bubble. I just went a bit crazy. I couldn't resist because there was a lot of Ghost Rider books for a quid each. Now, what I would say is that when it comes to postage and it comes to packaging and things like that, and because I send out books to other people, I've got a certain expectation level. And I must say that Red Stars absolutely, you could have played five-a-side football with this box. It was so expertly packaged. All the books were newly bagged and bolded as well. And the condition of the books were absolutely spot on. So just want to give a big shout out to Red Stars Comics on Vought. If you're not already following them, make sure that you go do so, because there's some bargains to be had, and you can be rest assured that it's going to be delivered well packaged. So that was pretty much my pickups. I'm not going to go through each of these. These are just all like Ghost Riders and stuff like that. But I think that was pretty much my pickups, apart from Thought Bubble stuff.
Mark has just said, Andy, she draws her at Thought Bubble 2021 and shows some of the people coming to get signatures. Are you there, Andy?
No, no, unfortunately not. I think the only time that we seen Zoe is when we went up and got a picture with her, and we're talking about the show that we've done and stuff like that, the Spotlight show.
And then we got another fan of Redstead. Redstead is great. And now I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be biased here. They're the only two people that I watch on VOT are Redsters and obviously Hobgoblin's Hideaway. And I think the whole thing with VOT, we did this when we did the topic table the other week. I think the whole thing with VOT is where it's so interactive. You expect a certain level and you expect a certain quality of comics and packaging and stuff like that. You can't fault these two. And I think that there's going to be certain people on Vault that are kind of using it and doing and selling comics that aren't the grade that they're pretending to sell them at. And it's only going to give them a bad name, but then it's also going to give Vault a bad name because they're the ones fronting it. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. I think I'd add one more seller to the list of sellers that I would certainly watch and be happy enough to buy from, and that's Simon Hill. He goes by the name of the Mr. Hill. I bought a couple yesterday from him, and I've been communicating back and forward. So I would recommend you go and check out Simon's shows as well.
Funny thing is,
one second, Red Stars Comics has actually got a show tomorrow on Vought at 12 o'clock. It's a Black Friday special.
Has Tim got one as well?
Tim has got one at 8 o'clock tomorrow. So it's going to be a day of World Cup and comic buying for me tomorrow.
It's really strange that Simon Hill, I used to work with him.
He mentioned that,
and years ago, and he's the one that got me into Funko Pops. He started collecting Funko Pops, and then we started to talk and bond about that. And then it was years and years ago. I think it was last year. Like, he kind of added me on Instagram. We started talking again like that. But it's really good to see. Like, I used to work with him for 3 years, day in, day out. Never knew that he was into his comics. And then when you look at the collection of comics that he's got,
oh, that's crazy.
Jesus, I mean, like some of the Tyler Kirkham Invincibles that he's got are very rare. Like, they're going for like £1,200, and he's got loads of them. But yeah, check him out. He's on Instagram and he's on VOT as well. So yeah,
100%. I'd like to maybe in the new year do a bit of a spotlight on VOT. And maybe we can get a few people that maybe have purchased and who sell on it, just to give a sort of round table on it and have a discussion on it, because I think a lot of people either don't know about it or are a bit hesitant to pick up stuff. My experience is by and large been very positive, but I go back to what you were saying earlier. It's about picking and choosing the people that you buy from. If I buy something from someone and it isn't as described or the packaging's a bit crap, then I just don't buy again from them. So
yeah, that's it. We've got Astro Jack. He has Aristo Jack. Back to the comments. Yeah. Glad to be here. I was at Thought Bubble this year and I really enjoyed it. I cosplayed as Rainbow Dash.
Nice.
Now, our good friend, Attention Seeking Geek, he was the lead cheerleader of the cosplay show. So Ben, if you do know, was there a Rainbow Dash there? How well did he dress? Let us know your thoughts. And then we've got Rock City Adventures. There's a lot to be said for raw artists. They aren't looking for perfection, but something to evoke a response. And I definitely think that's what Zoe has done.
Spot on.
Especially in her book she did, Rain. The art in that is sensational, and like the whole evoke an emotion and invoke a response, you kind of get it all in that. If you haven't picked that up already, it's a fantastic comic, trade paperback, amazing. And who else? What we got? Chris Bell said Mr. Hill. Yep, that's the one. they reached out to me regarding selling on there. See, this is what I think a lot of they're reaching out to the influencers and the well-known people on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that. So, yes, Andy, you've been approached, haven't you?
I have been, but I don't think I'll be selling on VOT. I pretty much sell privately to people that
Yeah.
watch this and the odd person on Instagram and stuff like that. So if anybody wants to, I'll be pretty much selling about 70% to 80% of my collection over the next coming months. So if anybody is interested in any of the books, just let me know and I can drop you a link to my Dropbox with all the details.
And see, based on what we're talking about now, a lot of people are saying, I need to get on VOT. And then Ben said, talking to Tim about VOT was a complete eye-opener. I had never heard of it before TB. Do you know what? I think a lot of people, it kind of just went under the radar because there's a well-known one that's over in the US, Whatnot. And that's kind of Funko's, it's collectibles, it's Pokemon cards, it's collectible cards, it's comics and stuff like that. VOT's kind of the UK version of it until Whatnot launches. It's either going to be later this year or early next year.
April, I believe. So I've been sort of having a bit of a chat with the person who sort of leads the comic side of things of it, and I think they mentioned it would be April on one of the other podcasts in America. There's also eBay Live that will be coming soon. So I think there's definitely plenty of choice for buyers. But again, it comes down to the quality. There'll be lots and lots of people selling, but it depends if you're looking for a cheap book or not.
And that's exactly it. And I think that's the main thing. If you find a good seller and they're doing what you like, then you can kind of stick to that. I like Tim, I like Redsters, and I like Simon Hill. So I'm scared to venture out elsewhere because I don't think I'm going to get the standards that them three can deliver at. And
I think to be fair, like once you've been to the Hobgoblin Hideaway claim sale, then you don't really need to go anywhere else because if Tim or Lucy don't have the book, then you can simply ask them to try and find it and source it for you. And I've done that on numerous occasions. And I would rather give my money to Tim and Lucy as it feels like a bit of a family, the Hobgoblin Hideaway.
Yeah, it does. And Ben has said, Jack, you did a great job with your cosplay. And Ben has said, thank you. I had a lot of fun taking part. There was an amazing fun part where Ben was told to get down on his knees and kind of beg for his life, and which was quite enjoyable.
That's when he met the Killer Comic Show.
But yeah, it was great, and I think you put up a story of it, Ben, on your Instagram or something. But it was fun to see. I'm gutted I didn't witness it live. I just heard about the repercussions of it. But we all had a good time there. We did all have a good time. And in Criswell was a huge Pokemon platform, really. It's only the last few months VOT has kicked up a gear in comics. It is indeed.
VOT need to slip into my DMs and give me a role as an ambassador for comics, because they need to push that side of things.
You might get the special. You might get the special seller award or whatever they're shipping out to try and get takers on VOT. I don't know. Maybe. We'll speak to Chloe at VOT. See what she can do. Indeed. Right. So shall we? Do you want to jump into what you picked up? I've got shed loads of stuff that I picked up. Thought Bubble was amazing for me. So I'm happy to hand over the baton to you if you kind of want to continue on your role that you're on.
Sure. Thought Bubble was fantastic. I didn't think it was going to be as good as last year's was, and I think it's safe to say that it kind of blew last year's out the water. It was absolutely fantastic. There's a lot to be said about, and we joke a lot of the time about the comic community, and I always kind of said that I don't feel like there is much of a UK comic community, but there was times at Thought Bubble where I kind of felt that it was kind of a mixed up mad family of geeks that all got together for that weekend, and but behind the keyboard and behind the StreamYard screen there is actually like human people who have thoughts and feelings and have their own issues going on, their own problems, and we all come together with one thing, and that's because we're all geeks and we all like comics. And that's what brought us all together at Thought Bubble, and we met new people, met new friends, rekindled some friendships, and overall, it just felt like it was the start of, the 2023 is going to be a really good year, I think, for everybody in the
Yeah.
UK comic community. So looking forward to next year. And yeah, everybody that I met was absolutely fantastic, and it was really good to just spend time with everybody, I guess, first and foremost.
And before you start, I'm just going to continue what we was doing at Thought Bubble, and it was drinking copious amounts of alcohol. So I'm going to pour another
Nice.
beer.
I'm on an absolute I'm on a detox. I am not looking at alcohol for a long time.
Yeah,
So first,
it's my birthday on Saturday, so I'm kind of just getting a few in early, and then I can kind of just go with it.
and you're what, 40, 42?
42, yeah, 42.
Cool. So my first thing that I got signed was Push. This is issue number 1. This is a 2009 comic convention exclusive. So this was written by Mark Bernardin, signed by Mark there, and the cover art was by Jock. So I was delighted to get this signed. And can I just say, for anybody that follows me on Twitter or Instagram or whatever, I was so nervous about a lot of things about Thought Bubble for various reasons, and I yes, indeed, and and I was really, really nervous about meeting Mark, because they always say, "Oh, don't meet your heroes, because they'll always likely to disappoint you." And can I just say that Mark Bernardin is the nicest person, and met any expectations that I had, and any concerns that I had. And I even told him, "Look, Mark, I'm really nervous about meeting you." And he's like, "What do you mean you're nervous? We're just on nerding." And he took a good 15 minutes having a chat with me, and it was just fantastic. And that was probably one of my highlights of Thought Bubble.
But then you took the handcuffs off and let him go, didn't you?
And no, I handcuffed him to Jock. That's what I did. Yeah, just put the two of them together and stuff like that. It was great. So that was my first pickup. James Tynan was kind enough to sign this. This is the 1 in 25, issue number 25 of Something's Killing the Children. Got Jock and Scott Snyder to sign Noctera issue number 1. This is the black and white 1 in 75 retailer.
That's a great cover. I remember. I'm not even being funny. I remember when you picked that up, you were so happy that you got it, because one, it's a fantastic story, and two, the artwork on it is amazing.
Sublime, absolutely sublime. Our good friend Carla Cohen was kind enough to sign this for me, and big shout out to Tom. Tom gifted this comic to me at the Thought Bubble weekend, so I really appreciate that, Tom. And Carla used these special sort of like paint pens.
Don't even get me started. I can't. She was just phenomenal.
She was fantastic. Absolutely
I'm blushing
great.
now. She's not even here.
This was one of my pickups from Thought Bubble, so I picked this up at the Art of Jock table. So this is the Virgin variant of 300. This is the new Frank Miller book, and this came pre-signed, but I was happy to pick that up. And it's thank you to Tim for giving me a top loader to stick it in, just to make sure that it was nice and safe when it was traveling home.
And the Art of Jock is a friend. Like, we sat down with Keith, didn't we? We sat down with him, and we had a beer in the Creators Hotel where they all stay. And the Art of Jock website, how it came about, is a fantastic story. He literally just messaged him, was like, "Look, I think you need a website. I'm a massive fan of yours. Can I put a website together?" And Jock was like, "Go for it." And now it's like it's the only website for Jock.
I was demoted to Uber Jock fan.
Yeah, she was.
At Thought Bubble weekend. So I think it's Keith, then it's Bruce, or Bruce and Keith. They can fight it at 1 and 2, and then I was number 3. But it was kind of it was like he's a nice guy, really nice guy. Great to actually sit down and have a good chat with him as well. And it's just nice to meet another fellow Jock enthusiast.
It weren't just a chat we had. We had a fair few beers and Jack Daniels.
And he's an Arsenal fan, so
he's an Arsenal fan.
You were happy with that, Charlie, as well.
That was it. We literally passed the time just talking about how we're top of the league and how that's another show. That's the Mine and Keith show, right? That's what we're going to be doing. Let's get back to the segment. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So I stupidly forgot to get Scott to sign.
Oh, no way!
My 871. So not to worry. I was really pleased to get Sanford Green to sign
Oh, nice.
Bitterroot issue #1. And and I also picked this up. So this was my good friend Bruce, who is Uber Jock fan
Mm-hmm.
#1, I believe. And he was kind enough to give this to me. He picked this up in America, so we exchanged some beer money for this.
That is an awesome comic.
It is indeed. Tula Lote, DJ extraordinaire, kindly signed this for me. This is Sam Wilson, Captain America, issue #12, for anybody who is looking for this. Fantastic Shuri cover, and her signature is just there.
I'm gutted we didn't go up on the Thursday night because she had a whole showcase set up of all her work and stuff like that. If you was going to Thought Bubble, you would have been able to go and see it. And some of the stuff she had up there, like some of the posters were amazing. And it's kind of a shame that she wasn't taking part in Thought Bubble, because last year we kind of got to speak to her as we entered and stuff like that, because we had the press passes. We kind of got to spend a little bit of time with her talking. But I think this year, where she was just there as a guest, it was literally sign your books, have a quick chat, and then move on. So yeah, I was a bit gutted when I found out at the start of this year that she wasn't going to be involved in the production, everything like that. But on the flip side of that, it was good to see that Thought Bubble is still continuing how it was when she created it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, 100%, absolutely. I think I think talking about going up on the Thursday and stuff like that, I think for next year, even myself and James and Sean we're talking about trying to work out the times that we actually travel over and stuff like that. So we'll maybe get some time to maybe have a look about in Leeds and like coming home and stuff like that. Like we sat on a plane for 4 hours.
I think my coach was 7 hours in the end.
So on Monday morning, we were up about 5:30.
Yeah.
And then we got we were on the flight about 8:30, and we sat on the runway for 4 hours because of the fog. So it was pretty horrific, to be fair. Picked up Carla Cohen's art book. This is, I believe, this was like limited edition, like 100 copies were available.
I think she only had what she had on her table, and I think it was the same with Lucio as well. They only had what they had on their table available. So if you was lucky enough to pick one up, then you're the fair few minority that actually owns that. So,
and it's a really nice book as well. So happy enough to have that in the collection. I got my Savage Dragon 223. Many of the books that I took, I tried to get, like, it was like, if it was a creator that had done it, a writer and the artist. So Scott Snyder wrote this one, and this is one of the few books that Jock done for this. And I got that signed by both of them as well. So that was the other copy of my 871, the second book.
That's nice. That's nice.
So this is Layla Starr, The Many Deaths of Layla Starr, signed by Ram V. And this is going to Chris Bell. So I got this signed for Chris. So Chris, this will be on its way with your other bits and bobs ASAP. So enjoy that.
I contemplated taking mine out of a CGC slab that I got a 9.6 for. And taking it and getting it signed by Ram V, getting it witnessed, and then sent off again. But when I looked at it from the back, there's a massive stacking dent in it. That even though it would have had a signature, it still would have come back as a 9.6.
Right. So it wasn't worth the outlay then.
No, not at all.
This was a book that I actually picked up on Vought, and Carla double signed it. So she signed it here, and then she signed it there. Her
signature is amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. It's one of the best. Like, obviously, we was at Thought Bubble. You get to see writers, you get to see artists, and you get to see their signatures, and you can tell a writer's signature from an artist's signature.
Yeah, because it's so creative.
It's so creative, and then you kind of like look at certain signatures, and you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just kept it as it was.
It's like a squiggle.
and what I noticed at Thought Bubble as well was that some artists and some writers were taking time about where, especially Carla, like massive shout out to Carla. You would give her your book and she would say, I don't think that colour, I want to go with this colour. And to be fair with her, she had these luminous pens, pinks, greens, whites, and she was happy to do it in any colour that you wanted. but
Yeah.
she would pick where it would go and where the best place was. And you can kind of tell she had a creative artist mind on thinking that's going to look best there, it's going to look better there. Whereas you put it down to a writer, they were just like, next, next,
Yeah,
next.
yeah, yeah. It was funny because you could see all the people that had got a Carla Cohen
Mhm.
signature,
Yeah.
because as soon as they walked away from our booth, they were like, blowing on it, trying to get it to.
And she wouldn't let you take it away. She was like, no, leave
No,
it.
you have to
It
stay there.
has
You
to
have to
dry.
stay
You
there.
have to stay
Yeah.
there looking at her for
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes. Well, maybe that was just me, but that's what I did. Just stay there.
You stood there for like a day.
It weren't awkward for me. It must have been awkward for Lucho, but it weren't awkward for me.
And the security men that tried to drag you away, it was awkward for me.
That was Scott's Collectibles. Yeah, that was them.
Genius Cartel issue number 1. Mark Bernardin wrote this book,
Nice.
so got him to sign that. Another Jock cover, Wicked and the Divine. This is issue number 29, and I
That's a
also
great
got
cover, though.
Kieran Gillen to sign it as well.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All New Hawkeye issue number 1. This was a Sanford Green cover, one of the hip hop ones. And Bitter Root issue number 14, got him to sign that as well. I got Jock to sign One Dark Night. This is the Italian version.
Oh, nice.
So this was one of a few things that I took up to Jock to get signed that he hadn't seen before. So I was saying to Charlie and the guys, that's what I tried to do, is to pick up stuff that is a little bit different from.
I do have to say to everyone in the chat, Andy not only surprises me and Tom, but when he rocks up to Jock's table and he's able to surprise Jock for 2 years in a row, not 1 year in a row, 2 years in a row with stuff that Jock forgets that he's done, or he forgets that he even remembers doing it. It's a sight to behold, because every time Andy goes up to Jock, I'm next to him because I like Jock. And Andy's like, yeah, I got this. And Jock's like, Jesus Christ, where the fuck have you found this? Like, what the hell? So yeah. So as Uber fans go, you, Bruce and Keith, I don't
He did think it was a bit strange when I took his letterbox up to get signed off.
I'm bigging you up here, and you're just like, yeah, I've got Jock's underpants here.
I picked up a few things, including this print from Anna Morozova. So Anna was kind enough to do a sketch on a Wonder Woman blank comic. Now it's actually it was actually from my daughter, who's a huge Wonder Woman fan. So it's actually pride of place in her room at the moment. She's asleep, so I can stick that up on Instagram and show that off. But she does some fantastic 2000 AD work, and she threw in a huge amount of like different magazines and stuff like that for me, and it was just great to catch up with her, because it's been quite a while since I spoke to her. I'm going to finish off one more item, Charlie, and I think you know what this item is.
Yes. I was so excited when I was able to be with you next to one artist and then next to a writer when you got this done. I think I was as happy as you were. I think you were quite nervous about it, and I was just like, just get it done. Like, just get it done. Come on.
Quite nervous is probably a tame way to put it. Anxiety was rushing through me all weekend, and I bit the bullet, and I done a thing, which normally doesn't happen, in fairness, but I managed to get this done. So this is signed by Jock and Scott Snyder, and it's sketched by Jock and sketched by Jock Snyder as well.
Can I just give a massive shout out, right, to Jock for the way that he did it, and I think not bigging up our show or bigging up how much of a fan you are and stuff like that, but I think because, let's be honest, we're quite friendly with Jock, and every time we see him, like, we're on first name basis and stuff like that. When we rocked up and you just said, look, I know you don't normally do this, can you do it? He kind of didn't even let you finish, looked at it, turned to the side and did that in 3 or 4 seconds.
Yeah, it was really, really super quick. Yeah.
Absolutely blitzed it out without anyone seeing. And I just think, like, massive kudos to Jock for doing that. And I just think that is one of the best memories I think you could have taken home from Thought Bubble 2022.
Oh, 100%. This is my thought bubble. Like, will be my memory of it. I think last year it was the CBCS that we got Tim to kindly facilitate for us, and we all got like 9.8s and stuff like that. But this was actually like 3 years in the making getting this done, because
Yeah.
I actually got this signed by Jock, and I asked him, I think it was like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, if he would do a sketch, and he says, like, I'm just too busy, I can't do it, but everybody will want a sketch. So I just got him to sign it. So I brought this book this year with that signature on it. He was kind enough to do it. Then I got Scott to sign it, and then for those who may or may not have seen the little video that Scott done for us, and we'll get some fantastic, like the amount of news that we've got coming up for the show is going to blow your minds, guys. But Scott was very kind to do a little sketch of Batman for me. So yeah, this was my thought bubble pick of the year. So yeah, that was me.
Well, I don't really know I can top that. So, guys, it's been a fantastic 36-minute show. I'm going to go home and cry into a pillow. But no, it was fantastic. And I think you've just done that. I'm just going to touch on, I'll put a little slideshow together. So, right, obviously, this was the Killer Comic Show. Now, bearing in mind that the Killer Comic Show has been going for, what, 3 years? Thought Bubble last year was the first time that we all see each other.
Indeed.
It was the first time that we all see each other. And it was, that for me was special enough, because obviously where we kind of built this community, the Killer Comic Show, we've kind of built it. There was the anticipation and the anxiety of thinking, if we all meet and we don't get on, we've got a weekend in the same hotel, we're all screwed. Like, if we don't get on, this could be the downfall of the Killer Comic Show. Fortunately, it wasn't. I'm happy to say we're still here a year on. And this year, I've been waiting for it for a whole year. Like, you asked my wife, I was so looking forward to this. Like, everything was pivotal to this moment. Like, everything in my work life, in my family life, everything aligned for me to be able to attend this. So I just want to give a massive shout out to every single person that I spent the weekend with. You made my Thought Bubble experience 10 times greater than I thought it was. I mean, last year was good. This year was sensational. And that goes to you, that goes to Tom, it goes to Peter, it goes to Connie, goes to Ben, Scott, every single person that was at Thought Bubble, Phil, whoever I'm forgetting, I do apologise, but it goes to every single person that was there. Say Sean, James, it was just a wicked weekend. And I can't, being a comic nerd, being a comic geek and stuff like that, this is what I live for. I thought it was amazing. And I just really want to take a soppy minute to just say thanks for everyone that made my Thought Bubble experience amazing. So yeah.
I think you've pretty much hit the nail on the head. I think what I took away from this year, probably more so than last year, was that whenever you're doing the show and you're watching other people's shows, it kind of didn't feel like it was just a bunch of YouTubers that were all meeting up, because like that just feels weird calling yourself a YouTuber, but it just felt like a bunch of friends all meeting up. And I think that'll hopefully progress into going next year and maybe even doing other cons, because I know the likes of Peter and Ben and the guys, they've been to 2 or 3 other shows in the UK, and I'd love the opportunity to do other shows, so it's not just once a year, and meet up with different people that you guys can come over to this neck of the woods and stuff like that. So yeah, no, it was absolutely superb, and I think these pictures give like a little taste of what it was like. But I must say, I haven't laughed as much in a long time. It was just superb.
And talking about laughing, this for me, I don't think I've ever had a funnier meal, right? And this is all centered about one man who's center of the screen right about now, wearing his red Slazenger polo shirt, right? Many of you might think it's his birthday. What was it?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter. Happy birthday.
Let's just put into context that it wasn't Peter's birthday, right? We had waited nearly 2 hours for our food. Right? I think it had been an hour and a half or an hour for our starters. We was contemplating going elsewhere. And I don't know who thought about it, but it was like, right, we'll say it's Peter's birthday. And we said it was his birthday. And the waitress or the owner, I think she was doing everything. I think she was the cleaner. I think she was the cook. I think she was the waitress. She was doing everything. At the end of the night, she came out and said, "Wait, I've made something for you." And she come out with this cake. And she even turned round at the end after like Peter had cut up all the cake and dished it all out. She turned around and said, "Oh, if you'd let me know more in advance, I could have made you a better cake." And I think one of us turned around and said, "Yeah, but he didn't even know it was his birthday until 10 minutes ago."
Yeah, it was kind of a tongue in cheek that I said, "Oh, yeah, it's his birthday," and it kind of just like escalated from that point that it actually was his birthday. That meal and that whole evening was such a laugh. It was so funny. And can I just say as well, if we're talking soppy, Peter is the conduit to whatever
Mhm.
UK comic community might exist. And if it wasn't for Peter, I don't think there would be such a camaraderie
Yeah.
amongst everybody, because everybody came together, and
Mhm.
that one centerpiece was kind of a Peter, and because he's kind of he knows all the different shows and stuff like that, and he promotes all the different shows. So just to get a moment that to big up Peter and everything that he does for not only everybody in the community, but for everybody that watches all the shows and stuff like that. So happy birthday, Peter.
But I think these two pictures, the top left and the one underneath, they kind of sum up what the weekend was about. It was about comics, it was about bonding, it was about friendship, it was about basically creating everything that YouTubers say, "Oh, the comic community is about," and stuff. This was what it was about. Like us coming together as friends, sharing our love for comics, our love for collectibles, but just literally sitting down as human beings, having a drink, having food, and just enjoying the company. Because a lot of us just see each other through screens. And when we came to meeting and stuff, it was exactly like that. It was a fantastic weekend. It was wicked. It was just,
Yeah.
it was great.
And I think Ben, I think that's a Switzerland flag he's put there, as far as I can see. But he's absolutely hit the nail on the head. He's a Switzerland. He doesn't
He
take
is.
sides or anything like that, and he's definitely in the middle. But the great thing about this weekend or that weekend was that there was no sides. Everybody just came
Mm-mm.
together, and it was like a breath of fresh air. It definitely. I don't know about you, Charlie, but it definitely felt as if it took a sort of almost like a weight off our
Mhm.
shoulders.
Yeah.
Because we could just all chill out and relax and just enjoy each other's company. So
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I've just been told off by Mark saying when I was getting my second lot of signatures from Carla, Charlie stopped by and said a very charming goodbye to Carla and completely ignored me. Can't blame him.
he does that, Mark. Do you know what that is, Mark? See, once you hit 775 subscribers, that's what happens.
Mark,
I'll apologise on Charlie's behalf.
Mark, I literally just want to take this time to say I am very sorry for what I did. It's not in my nature, and I just want to say I really hope you got home safe. I hope you had a fantastic thought bubble, and if I do see you again and Carla Cohen's there, I would do exactly the same thing, mate. So I do apologise.
It's because Mark's signature isn't as sexy as Carla Cohen's.
It's not. It's not at all. It's not at all. But so that was the soppiness out of the way. So I'm going to get down to my amazing. I've got so much. Right. So you're going to have to bear with me. So first of all, when you walked into Thought Bubble on the Saturday morning, you got met with. Last year we walked in and we was gifted bags by Tula Latte, who would give a Thought Bubble bag and say you're in the contention of winning. What was it? A Fire HD tablet thing.
And you know who won one, don't you?
Oh,
James.
of course he did. Oh, did he?
Comic deal won.
Did he really?
He won one. Yeah.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hell, he kept that quiet. Well,
So
anyway,
he spends the whole day on Saturday in his bed, and then rocks up on the Sunday morning and gets a free Kindle. That's the way to do it.
What this year?
Yes, this year. Yeah,
No way. Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious. Yeah.
I thought you meant last year.
No, this year.
Jammy bastard. Right. So anyway, when you rocked up, they gave you a pink Thought Bubble bag, and I thought this was quite cool. Last year you didn't get this, and obviously you get
That was a great idea.
a comic sketchbook. I thought it was really good because again, it can go back to that idea of what you said.
Yeah.
You could just take this round and get, and I think that was their thought process behind it. Because I think a lot of people went to Thought Bubble this year. I know I did. I didn't go with a lot. I ended up buying a load of stuff there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, I'm not going to take books because the books I took last year they're in a long box upstairs somewhere, and there's
Yeah.
no point in it. Like, I'm just going, I think it's my first thought bubble. I'm going to take 150 comments. I'm going to get them signed and stuff like that. And they're just sitting in a long box doing nothing. So this
And
year,
do you know what else that it really works out well? And I think they had this plan really because, see, for dads like myself who
Mhm.
didn't bring back something for their kids, see, just giving that little sketchbook to them and telling them to go and draw something for you
Mhm.
works a treat. Absolutely saves
It does.
you.
It really does. And I think, what was he saying? Cheers, Mark. It was great meeting you. Have a good chinwag. I think the comic room, I think he couldn't make it last year. And then this year he said, this is making me even more gutted that I wasn't able to attend Thought Bubble this year. And
Next
I
year.
think it's next year. You definitely have to go next year. I think we kind of big it up so much. And we're massive fans of the show. We love the festival and stuff like that. So definitely make sure you can make it. And that's what you're welcome, Ben. It was good to see Peter too. I asked him how the horror convention went. If you want to know how the horror convention went,
There's so much love in this chat. There's an air about this chat.
there's
this evening.
loads.
It's
There's
amazing.
loads.
I love it.
There's loads. So obviously, like, you get your comic sketchbook, and you get various stickers, and you get a bag and stuff like that. But I was kind of there this year. I kind of set a goal to myself. I wanted to go and buy a couple of CGCs. I wanted to get a couple of commissions, and I wanted to get some stuff signed. You can't beat a freebie. You can't beat a freebie. So there was a stand. Andy, you might have to help me out what this stand was called, but they were giving out. Oh, it's Vice Press. That's the one. They were giving out these A4 prints. So look how fantastic this is, right? So this is a Scarface print on a lovely A4 card. So I've got that. And then we've also got Goodfellas. Now, I love a freebie. So I was like, well, I'm gonna get a few of them. I'll go through the freebies first. This is basically like a kid's show and tell at the moment, so you've got to bear with me.
Happy Thanksgiving, Rock City. And
yes,
happy
I forgot
Thanksgiving to all of our American
I forgot
viewers.
to say that at the start of the show. I should have taken a leaf out of Peter's book and done that, but apologies. So back to the show. Mondo, we're giving out these free badges. Look at this.
See that's the thing, right? What we need to do next year, Charlie, sorry to jump in, but because you know what I'm like, and I am so like shy to go up, even though
So
it
am I.
says
I'm such a shy person.
big massive letters, free, take these. I'm like, but if I go up and I pick the wrong thing, they're going to shout at me. Or if I go up, I'm going to have to like go into discussion and have a chat with these people. So next time, Charlie, pick up 2.
Well, do you know what? It's lucky that I've got you covered, right?
Oh.
Because it's kind of like I knew that was coming. So you got this, right? But then, because I know you so well, I just kind of got you some as well.
Mate,
So
he knows me too well.
I know you better than you know yourself, mate. Right, so we had that freebies, and then we had these stickers. So we got some Thought Bubble ones. Nice. This is kind of like David Bowie-esque.
Mm.
We've got a Vice Press one. There we go, another sticker. These are cool, and they're free, but they're cool. This is how much of a geek I'm. Look at that, look.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
that's wicked. And then we've got an old school Batman 89.
Nice.
That one. What else did we get? Good friend Keith, art by Jock. You got one of these?
Yeah,
as well.
I've got mine's over there. Yeah.
What is it? Is it a magnet?
It's a magnet. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, what else did we get? Well, we got these by Vice Press as well. So I collected these last year and I framed them. So this is they're little. What are they? Little trading cards or little?
It's like almost like little business cards. Like
yeah, but they're awesome. Like so, you got obviously T-Rex, Jurassic Park. We've got.
Is that was from Matt Ferguson's booth, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. That one. I'm not sure if anyone knows what that is.
That's class.
Let me know.
Star
Wars, no? Yeah. One Division. But these look great. You can get frames, tiny little frames, or like tiny little top loaders from Amazon, and they look wicked. If you stick these up on the wall,
it's like Sean's frames.
Yeah.
Tiny
this is A4 size to Sean.
It's like an A3 poster.
Doctor Strange. Another Jurassic Park. And then we've got Guardians of the Galaxy. But the thing is, like, I wanted to get a few posters, but I literally have no room to collect, like, to put them up anywhere. Rogue One.
Nice.
Empire Strikes Back. it said free, so I literally, the Cockney in me just literally cleared shop.
He's like,
I was like,
just
yeah.
like
I
that.
opened up my
into
Del
the
Boy
bag, just sweeping them into your bag.
opened up my Del Boy suitcase and just literally cleared them in. And then I even went behind the store. I was like, "Have you got any more?" Ash. There we go. This one, I think, is my favourite one.
Oh, that's cool.
Batman and the gorgeous Miss Kravitz, and then we've got Batman as well.
Nice.
So those. Oh, hold on, we've got some more freebies. Here we go. We've got this one. So these are by Mark Bell Illustrations. Now he done some fantastic posters, and again, I haven't got nowhere to put them up. But this is like all original art. Like you can see how sensational these are. Like these are his Disney ones. And the poster he had, it was an A1 print. Was this one?
Oh, that's cool.
Now this is amazing, and I think if viewers can remember when Tim launched the Hobgoblin website, the Roger Rabbit comic was the one that I chose. That if you put in the Killer Comic Show, you would have got it. So that was all that. And then do you remember when we were standing to get a signature by Jock? There were these.
Oh yeah, I had to put mine back. It was terrible.
Do you remember? Yeah, well, as being from South London and a Cockney in me, I didn't. They weren't going back. These were a 5-finger discount, and these were quite good. And these are comics original cards.
Oh, nice.
And they're kind of like trading cards because on the back they've got like a description of what the comic's about. You can kind of scan the barcode, and it's got obviously the Book of Evil, which is Jock and Snyder, Bloody Oath. There's a fair few in here that are absolutely amazing. I won't bore you with going through them all, but they are literally, and this is what we're reading. This is what we've been reviewing on the show, Night of the Ghoul.
Nice.
So, I mean, we've got quite a few on there. You'll know this one, Andy. Snow Angels.
Yeah.
Who else have we got? There we go. Another one that's been on the show. We Are Demons. We Only Kill Each Other. Now, these are fantastic cards, and these are going to be kept out of the way from my kids because if they get hold of them, it's game over. Like, do you know what I mean? There'll be bogie, food and everything all over them.
Yeah.
Right, so that's that. So now we're getting down to the other part of the stuff that I wanted to get done. Commissions. I've got to be honest, right? Last year, I got a commission done by Baz, right? Amazing. It was an Optimus Prime, the best Optimus Prime from the 1980s, right? Really.
Just before you go on, just remember we have to go back next year.
Yeah. It's going to be fine, but I'm just going to say, I asked him for a Harley Quinn, and I said, like, you do what you got to do, and I got this. And to be fair,
oh,
yeah, that is it. It was the booty bot. That was it. It was the booty bot. Ben, do you remember when we used to do that show, Peach of the Week? There we go.
Oh, R.I.P. Peach of the Week. I actually didn't ban sexfind.biz. I actually right click saved as. That's what I did.
Sure. We thought Tom was in hospital, but he's not. Right. So anyway, yeah, I got a lovely free commit. No, to be fair, Baz does free commissions every single year. Last year I got Optimus Prime 1980. This year I got Harley Quinn. Can't moan. Harley Quinn. Right. So that's that. Then we go on to the comic signatures. I totally forgot I had this comic. Right. This is a Grim Knight.
Is that Mylar?
Yeah, boy.
Shiny.
It came with a COA. I bought this a couple of years ago, but this was signed. So this goes back to what I'm saying about when artists select where they're going to sign it. The difference, and I don't care if Carla's watching or Lucia's watching. The difference between Carla Cohen signing the comic and Lucio signing the comic is that, in my opinion, Carla takes the time to think about where she's going to do it and the colour she's going to do it in. With Lucio, he didn't, and I'm being brutally honest, he didn't. Now, can you tell me, other than like when my finger's pointing, you can't really see it, okay? It's there.
Yeah.
right? But it's a fantastic comic. It's a fantastic signature, and I'm really glad I got it done. But then when you go to this, look at that. It's just amazing. Now, my one that Tom gave me, that gifted me, I couldn't, there was no other option for me to just think, I'm just going to get it signed. And I, again, wanted a thought bubble memory. So I kind of took the Virgin variant that Tom gave us, got her to sign it, and it's gone off to CGC.
Nice.
And
I
that's
was I was too intimidated to go and speak to Lucio because he always looked as if somebody had stole his dinner money.
I think that was the actual long flight and travel that it took them to actually get to Thought Bubble. But yeah, so they're two signatures that I got. Then obviously we went over to our man Ram V.
Nice.
We signed. Now this is massive shout out to you because last year I thought I was only getting Radio Apocalypse 1 in 10, but is this the 1 in 5 cover?
Yes, that's 1 in 5. Yeah,
I got the 1 in 5 cover, and then this.
No, that one's a 1 in 10. That one's a 1 in 5.
That's the
1 in 10, and that's the 1 in 5.
That's the one. And then this just looks wicked. So this was the 1 in 5. And Ram was really, when he signed this, he was really surprised. He was like, "Oh, I didn't think anyone was able to get that cover." So massive shout out to you for pulling your fantastic Scottish strings and managing to get that for me as well.
You're welcome.
Now I'm going to show this, and I'm pretty gutted about it. So I got a signature from Jock. Right, I took up my my One Dark Knight issue 1, issue 2, and I thought I took issue number 3, but I just took the 1 in 10 variant of issue number 1. Right, you're damn right. You're damn right. Telling you now. Right, so Jock signed this. Schoolboy error. It got smudged. Right, but
I'm just going to put it down to being like an action signature.
Yeah.
So it looks as if it's like moving.
Every cloud. So now we know that Jock doesn't really do remarks, and there's no way, Andy, I can beat yours. I'm not even trying to compete with that. But this still means something to me because I was shocked. So Jock signs that. I'm happy with that. Then he signs this, right, and puts it on top of that. But I'm like, oh my god, bloody hell, he smudged it. But little did I know that he did a Batman remark as well, the Bat logo remark. So I was happy with that. That's fine. I get it by Jock. I was like, fantastic. So I was over the moon. So then I was like, right, I've got my signatures done. I've got my commissions done. Now what I'm going to do now, I just want to drop in Ian Richardson's art because he's the guy that you suggested that I go and get a commission from. I wanted a commission. I didn't know who to get it done from. And I had a black...
I did recommend Ian Richardson, but then I
Yes.
showed you another bald gentleman. Do you remember?
Some random guy was like, yeah, that's him. And I was like, are you sure?
Like, whoops, no, that's not Ian Richardson. Sorry.
Are you sure? I was like, okay. Thankfully, I didn't go up to him because he was just a guy serving coffee because I would have ended up with the Batman 1 in 25 blank cover covered in Costa coffee.
The coffee variant.
So I took my Batman
One
blank.
dark roast. Hey.
That's a totally different YouTube channel.
Wow.
I would have taken up my comic to get signed by some barista. But fortunately, I found him. And he didn't have to. What I thought was really good about Thought Bubble was that, especially when I met Ian Richardson, he said to me, I haven't got time to do it now. Are you happy for me to take it away? I'll do it. I'll talk you through the process of what I'm doing, what you're expecting and stuff like that. And I think it was £20 for a headshot, 45 for a full body, and I think it was another price. He turned around and said to me, right, because I've got to take it away, I'm happy to fill the whole cover with figures, full bodies and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to what he's coming back with. And I've been speaking to him on a regular basis since I got back, and I'm really looking forward to what he's doing. I've said to him, look, the comic's up to you. You do what you think works. I just want Batman figurines, Harley Quinn, whatever. So I'm really looking forward to what he comes back with. I've dropped his link in the chat. Check him out. He's got fantastic stuff. And even on was it the Sunday or the Saturday night, he was in the bar. And as we were getting drinks, I went up to him and was like, mate, you've got time to have a beer, but you ain't got time to fit in my commission. What's that about? One word answer I got from him. He knew I was joking, but the one word answer I got back from him was priorities.
Yeah.
that is a man after my own heart. Well done, Ian. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes back with. I really am.
Yeah, I think it was either OMA Comic Fest or Enniskillen Comic Fest that I met Ian Richardson. And the same as you, he actually took my stuff away to do it at home, and I got a Venom and a Joker, which I'll try and dig out and show on the next show. But for some of his stuff is absolutely superb. Go check his Instagram and drop him a DM if you want any commissions done, because I'm sure he'll be more than happy to do it for you guys. And just let him know that the Killer Comic Show sent you.
Yeah. So we got that, and then I was I think Phil fell in love with a writer and artist called Torren Grombeck. So I was like, oh, who's this Torren Grombeck? And then I walked over to her stand and I was like, Mighty Valkyries. She writes the Mighty Valkyries, and she's taken over from Donny Cates for I think 4 or 5 issues to write Thor. So I go up to her and think, do you know what? Let's see if we can get her on the show. So I say to her, hi, I'm Charlie from the Killer Comic Show. We do a live weekly show where we review comics and we have guests on from the comic community, writers and artists. Would you like to come on the show? Her first answer was...
She's like, sorry, I'm Ian Richardson.
her response was, the only response I got from her when I said it's a live show on a Thursday, she said, can I swear? I was like, yep, that's fine. You can swear all you want. She was like, fine. Yep, I'm up for a live show. Really looking forward to it. If I couldn't swear, I wouldn't come on the live show. So in the backlog of guests that we've got lined up for the show, we've got Torren Grombeck. So we are looking forward to having her on the show. Fantastic. Check her out. Mighty Valkyries and Thor, taking her from that. Then going on from that, I went and got some trade paperback signed. So obviously this is James Tynion. Fantastic one there. We've got The Crimson Cage. Now, for all you wrestling fans out there, you will know how fantastic this book is. Absolutely amazing. And I was lucky enough to get it signed by both the writer and the artist, Mr. John Lees and Alex Cormack, who has been on the show and will be returning in due course. Now, like Andy, I kind of took a book that I wanted to get signed by both the artist and the writist. Artist and the writer. There we go.
That's half a beer.
This is one of my favourite Batman novels of all time. Obviously, the well-known Black Mirror. And this is signed by, last year I got it signed by Jock. And this year I got it signed by the one and only Scott Snyder. So again, this is a thought bubble memory for me. But also, Noctera as well. Again, signed by Scott Snyder. This is a fantastic run. Volume 2 comes out in a couple of weeks, I think it is. And he has got some seriously special stuff planned for Noctera. More on that. Then I got one signed by a friend of the show, the one and only Mr. Ram V. Always a pleasure talking to Ram. What else did I get signed? Oh yeah, Snow Angels. I told you, honestly, this thought bubble for me was fantastic. I was literally like a kid in a candy shop. Snow Angels, signed by the one and only Jock. I think the pen Jock was using was pretty smudgeable, because look at that.
Smudgeable.
Smudgeable, that's a word. I bought this there, right, at Travelling Man. Totally forgot I had it and didn't get it signed by Alex Cormack.
Nice.
So, yeah, I did what you did. But the pièce de la résistance for me was this. Once in Future. Yeah. Right? And massive shout out to Panels and Pints, because I was debating whether to pick this up, but where Sean is so influenced by peer pressure, he bought it. And then the tables were turned on me, and I was like, I've got to buy it. So I went and bought it. Full bubble. But this is amazing. Like the detailing on this, I'm not sure if you can see it, but it's kind of embossed. And it's really, really good. And Kieran, if you signed it, I'm not sure what he did there, but I'm looking.
He ruined your graphic novel. No, I'm not joking.
I'm not. I've literally just worked out what it is. Have a look. It's a sword.
Yeah, in the ground.
Yes, yeah. It's a sword in the ground. There we go. It's taken me 3 weeks to work out what it is, but we got there in the end. So yeah, that was my pickups that I got signed. I also got my pickups from Galactic Comics. So Galactic Comics are my local comic book shop, who I get all my comics from. So I'll breeze through this. So we've got Batman second print. which is quite
It was
nice.
nice to meet John for the first time.
Finally nice to meet John. Yeah, I mean, it was wicked.
And he let me play with his lightsaber as well.
Pause. Batman 129. There we go. Still collecting my Batman to the annoyance of James comic deal. 128. Fantastic covers, and it's still an amazing story. Strange Academy. Final.
Is that any good? Have you read it?
It's wicked. It's
good?
wicked. Honestly, yeah, it's really good. I'm enjoying it. What have we got? Batman Beyond the White Knight, book number 5. We've got Batman Beyond the White Knight, book number 6. What else we got? You still reading this? Please tell me you're still reading this. This is one of the standout comics for us, 2021.
Mate, I'm a really bad comic collector.
Okay, there we go. Right, and this one.
Nice. I like that. Let's go.
Love that. And then I kind of went on like a Harley binge when the 30th anniversary came out, and I kind of picked up about 5 or 6 Harley Quinns. I'm not even lying. There's 7 here. They're all probably going to CGC. So up first, we got the Amanda Connor.
My CGC account ran out yesterday.
No way. Oh, so you got to renew it. You got to renew it.
I need to renew it. Yeah.
So I'm going to move that over there. So we got Harley Quinn, Amanda Connor. Then we've got, who is this? We've got Adam Hughes.
Yes. I love that.
We've got that one. That one will be going. Then we've got Mr. J. Scott. This is incredible. Right, love that. Then we've got Stefan Sejic.
Love it.
Love that. Then we've got, I'm not sure who this is.
Was it Stefan who done the
Harleen? Yeah.
Harleen, yes.
Harleen,
right,
yeah. I'm not sure who this is. I don't recognise the signature. If anyone does, it's, what is that one?
That's Bruce Timm.
Bruce Timm. There we go. Fantastic. And then we have...
Is it Bruce Timm?
I think so. And then we've got Art Germ. I picked up quite a few of these.
Nice.
So that was all the pickups. But then I kind of was like, do you remember I said I wanted to get some commissions, I want to get some signatures, I want to get some CGCs? You was with me when I chose this CGC. And originally, what did I choose? Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy 9.6 from Slab City Comics.
A Poison Ivy 9.6. And I was like, for 50 quid.
Slab City Comics wouldn't even budge on the price.
No, they wouldn't.
With 30 minutes to go.
They wouldn't budge on the price. And I was like, oh, okay, fair enough. So I was like, right, for 50 quid, do I get a Poison Ivy retro? Like, it was a homage. It was a David Nakayama homage with Batman and Robin. I was like, do I get that as a 9.6? Or
the Oracle stepped in.
For those of you that know the show, when we do covers of the week and stuff like that, they know I like a Rose Besh. So I was like, do I get a 9.8 for 50 quid? And Andy's like, no.
Wait a wee minute. Can I just back up there? Right? We'll just put the no in a really poor Scottish accent.
I said Arsenal.
Oh, right, okay. Whilst you were paying for your £50 9.6, I was duly looking through the slabs and found the Rose Besh 9.8.
Yeah, you did.
Wonder Woman. Show that bad boy off.
So I'd bought the Poison Ivy one and got halfway out the door and I was like,
Andy, what am I going to do?
I'm not happy with this. So I went back and I got this bad boy.
Yes.
Look at that.
Is that what it's Trial of the Amazons issue number 1?
Trial of the Amazons, right. That's fantastic. Right. So I was like, right, I get that. That was lovely. So I was like, I'm happy with that. But this is to end on a high. I have to give a massive shout out to Tim from the Hobgoblins Hideaway. This one, £120. Right? No, was it? No, £100. £100. I've got to say it quietly because the wife's next door. But it was £100, and it was well worth it. And you would have seen it on Instagram if you're following me over there. I'm a massive J. Scott Campbell fan. I'm a massive Harley Quinn fan. So to have these 3 gorgeous women on my shelf, with it signed by J. Scott Campbell, Villain of the Year, Harley, Harley Quinn
I love the
2020.
fact that you're like really quiet at the price, but then you shout three gorgeous women.
It's just me. That's just how it goes. That is just how it goes. But this is fantastic. You would have seen the pictures that I put up over on Instagram. I'm going to be posting a lot more of the stuff that I got from Thought Bubble. But overall, Andy, mate, it was just a fantastic show. But I think one of the best things to come out of it, as I mentioned, with the friendships new and old and the rebonding and stuff like that, is the fact that what we've got coming up, and people would have seen it from when we posted it when we was at Thought Bubble. From what we've got coming up, there's massive things lined up for the show. That's not even an understatement. And exactly that, Ant. Exactly that, Chris. Priorities. That is it. But I think having Scott Snyder do the intro for the show, and then also having Scott Snyder, I don't want to say too much. But we've got, all I can just say now is that we've got massive things lined up for the show. Like we're going into 2023 seriously, and I'm emphasizing this, seriously fucking strong. And I'm looking forward to it. After off the back of Thought Bubble, how fantastic it was spending time with all these fantastic people, spending time with you and Tom. We're going to the next level now. We're going to take it, and it's going to be an enjoyable time. We've got guests lined up, we've got different things lined up, we've got different content lined up. So it's going to be a fantastic time. I just want to give a massive shout out to every single person that's in the chat, week in, week out, making this show enjoyable, making it enjoyable. What we do, it's just like we're just three guys that sit here reviewing comics, talking about what's coming out, and just literally having a chat. And I've said from day one, we only do this because we can't get down the pub on a Thursday night because we live too far away. If we was down the pub every Thursday night, we would just be doing this with copious amounts of alcohol.
We would be divorced as well.
We would be divorced, and me, you, and Tom would be living in a semi-detached bungalow.
I think the what I'm looking forward to next year is more collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
Is working with creators,
Yeah.
artists, writers, working with retailers, working with other members of this geek community that we find ourselves in. That's what I would like. I think we're stronger together. I think somebody might have used that before that term.
Yeah.
But we really are stronger together, because I think when we're all doing our thing individually, we're all really seeking for the same people to watch and the same people to come on. And I think those guys that are watching would prefer if we all worked together and collaborated, because I think it'll be better for everybody.
And it is going to be like interesting. Like we've got big things, big things are going on. Damn right.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good. Yeah, I think what Thought Bubble does as well, and I think shout out to Chloe and Martha and all the guys who organise the show. I think one of the things that they might not realise that they do, even just for little YouTube shows like this, is you come away from the Thought Bubble with a sense of, we're in this, we're going to keep going, and we're going to make things stronger. It gives you a lot of ideas, gives you a lot of faith in the community, gives you a lot of faith in the creators, and you get to realise that these top creators that you're sitting getting signatures from, they're actually up for coming on the show, and they're up for collaborating and talking to you. Now, they could just be saying that to get you away from the table, but I actually got a sense that they actually meant it.
Yeah.
And I guess time will tell. And what's great is that the people that we've already had on the show, is when you see them at Thought Bubble, it's like, you're kind of shaking hands and saying hello, and that they genuinely are interested to find out how the show's going on. And when people are actually passing us at Thought Bubble to say, "Oh, I really love Killer Comic Show," that kind of stopped us in our tracks a few times. And, and shout out to an Englishman in San Diego, who we met. Make sure that you go sub him up, because he's got some fantastic content on Thought Bubble. I'm really looking forward to 2023 and everything that it will bring.
So yes, stay tuned. As I said, big things are going. Big things are going. But
Triple G. Wait a sec. Hold on. Oh no, mate. you okay, mate? I hope everything's all right. Triple G, we were just wishing you happy birthday again.
Yeah.
And we
Well,
we
hold on, he
definitely catch
missed
your
it. So
rewind.
if he would have missed it, so we might as well just relive it
Yes.
one more time.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Peter. You. Happy birthday.
This guy has more birthdays than the Queen did. Rest in peace. She had
Happy birthday, Peter.
She had 2 birthdays, and Peter's had 3 birthdays this month.
Yeah, yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Not to mention Sean's birthday at the steakhouse.
Yeah, that weren't that great. That weren't
You know, it was his 75th. For goodness sake.
70-foot high. He was growing in stature. But yes, I mean, it was fantastic. Thanks for everyone that's tuned in for the Thought Bubble review. We are back to normal next week. So we have 4 comics that are up. They will be going up on YouTube tomorrow for the community vote. We've got Daredevil issue number 5. We've got 8 Billion Genies issue number 6. We've got Star Wars. What was it? Revelations.
Revelations, yeah.
Revelations issue number 1, and we have Stuff of Nightmares issue number 3. So again, that will be going up on the YouTube community tab for you to place your votes for what 2 comics we will review next week. Other than that, mate, I think we are done. We're back in the grind. I'm absolutely loving being back. We've had 2 weeks off, but I've really enjoyed tonight. Massive shout out to the chat. You've made it really enjoyable. Massive shout out to my homie, Perpetual.comics, you stallion of a Scottish male. I don't really know what else to say about that, mate.
It's because we've not got Tom here, and he normally does the stay sexy.
I know.
Bob. If anybody wants to join us for any shows or has any ideas or anything like that that they think we should be doing, because we kind of we were just winging it a little bit today, because we don't have loads and loads of slides, and we didn't have competitions and all the rest of it. But we just wanted to chill out, have a chat and stuff like that. Hope Tom is doing well. I hope you're feeling well, mate. And it's been good. How do we sign off, Charlie? I think we should probably sign off at this point.
We normally sign off, so it's stay safe, stay sexy. But tonight I'm going to do, from me, Harold, and Andy, it's stay safe, stay sexy. See you later.
Okay, guys.